Hello, today we're going to talk about plagiarism. I am SHAIL Shah. So yeah, let's start. What is plagiarism? Plagiarism is presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own without their consent by incorporating it into your work without any kind of acknowledgement. As this can be ethically and legally wrong and can have serious consequences. So why is it important to discuss about plagiarism? As like we are all now into college, and now we'll be writing, let's say in future, we go into research field, we have to write a research paper. There's chances of plagiarism in that because in past there have a lot of people who have been found doing plagiarism in research papers. And there's also plagiarism in corporate sector, or there's also stuff like corporate infringement, which we'll be talking in further slides. So let's talk about types of plagiarism. First is global plagiarism. Global plagiarism basically means you entirely take someone else's work and write it under your name without giving any kind of consent or without any kind of acknowledgement. That's global plagiarism, and this is one of the most serious types and can have very severe consequences. Another type is paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means putting someone else's text under your own words without giving any kind of uh, acknowledgement. If acknowledgement is given, then it's not plagiarism. Another is incorrect citation. So while writing a research paper, you need to cite sources. If you don't cite sources correctly or you don't cite it at all, it's called incorrect citation. That's a kind of plagiarism that is very serious. Another is accidental plagiarism. This is possible like you are writing some research paper in which you accidentally plagiarize someone else's work under your name and you don't give acknowledgement and you don't give citations and you don't really even have any idea that you have plagiarized. This is called accidental plagiarism. Another kind is hired plagiarism. Basically, it's bribing someone else to do your work. That is, and it's bribery basically, and it has serious consequences. So why do people plagiarize? The first problem and the biggest one is laziness. It's like everyone is lazy to do their stuff, so they just copy from internet. Another is fear of failure. A lot of people are pretty creative and have really good mind, but they are very scared to present their ideas as they think that it might be wrong and they have a fear of failure. So that's the reason people plagiarize. Another is poor time management. Generally in college time or even in corporate sector, you get a lot of workload and it's very hard to manage time. So in this case also people tend to plagiarize. Another is lack of knowledge about the topic. Let's say you're writing a research paper and you don't really have any idea about it, and you're just writing it because it's something that is interesting to someone else, but not to you. So eventually you're going to plagiarize in that. Another is focus on grades rather than knowledge. This applies mostly to school and college students, in which during their projects and assignments, they don't really care about the knowledge that they are gaining through the projects and assignments. Rather, they just care about the grades. So they just search for those topics on internet and just copy paste it and submit to search. They don't gain knowledge, just the grades. This is also very bad. So what are the different consequences of plagiarism? In academics, let's say if you're caught with having plagiarism, you will definitely get a fail grade or even suspension or expulsion if it's submitted by someone else submitted by under their name. Another is research. In research field, will ruin your reputation definitely. And in further, if you write some research papers, you will have trouble finding some journals who can publish your work. And you can also have legal issues such as corporate infringement. Let's see about that. So, Copyright Act of 1957 says that an author, a content creator, has a special right to claim for acknowledgement, authorship, or damages if his work is used somewhere without his consent. Also, under 63 section of the Act, the code gives a punishment of 6 months to 3 years and a compensation of up to 2 lakh rupees for violation of section 57. Now let's look at some famous examples of plagiarism. First is the US President Joe Biden. He has fallen foul for plagiarism several times because during his law school he has plagiarized in research papers, and according to New York Times, Biden has stated that he used 5 pages of a published law article under his research paper without giving proper consent and without having proper consent and acknowledgement. And also in 1988, Biden was forced to withdraw from the presidential race due to plagiarism allegations. Another is Helen Keller is mostly known for a influential activist as a deaf and blind woman who overcame many challenges related to her disabilities. But she has been accused of plagiarism as when she was 11, she wrote a story called Frost King, which was similar to the Frost Fairies, a story by Margaret Canby. This is a form of accidental plagiarism as while she was writing that story, she didn't have any idea of whether the story was similar to the one written by Margaret Canby. So, like how to avoid plagiarism? The first way is mentioning references. While expressing an idea that's not your own, you need to add citations in your or sources in your assignments, papers, or any other stuff. Another is use quotation marks. If you insert a source as words into your writing, use quotation marks around the text to denote the words that aren't your own. A direct quote should also cite the source so that readers know who the quote is from. Now use plagiarism checker software. So there are some software that are available on internet on which you can directly copy paste your writings and just paste it on that, and it will tell you if how much of it is similar to someone else's work. Another is paraphrasing. Successfully paraphrasing without plagiarism involves a bit of hard work, so you need to reword and format everything, and most importantly, you need to cite the source of this writing, or else it will be called paraphrasing plagiarism. Another is ask for permission. So if you're taking a small parts of a video or a movie or some song for fair use, it's better if you take permission if you don't have any idea if it's under copyright holder, because there's chance of copyright infringement. And the another thing is work on topics that interest you, because if you are doing something that you don't like, you'll eventually get bored of it and you might just copy it from someone else. So conclusion is plagiarism is legally and ethically wrong because it's not fair that you copy someone else's idea who has put his effort and time to invent that thing. And also, like in academics, one should focus more on gaining knowledge and exploring the world rather than just getting grades. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much. These are my references I used.